Good afternoon, everybody. I am Joanna Craney, partner and special needs planner with Empowered Financial Strategies, and I'm really delighted today to have with us Chris Russell from Fitness4Focus, who I met fairly recently, and his background really like spoke to me because as a kid, just so the quick personal story here, as a kid, I used to watch my father almost every single day in the basement. He had his fitness routine. He was a military guy, and he would be down there with his weights. And I was just always fascinated by his commitment to this daily routine, which eventually he taught me and I implemented in as early as, like, I think I was in 7th grade. I got on a training program. But what I didn't realize was the impact that it would later have in my own personal life. Because when we think about fitness programs, most people think about it from a physical standpoint. But having been a fitness quote junkie for a long time now, I won't tell you my age, what I realized, it has much more of an emotional impact on our lives. So when Chris shared his story, which he's going to share shortly, I really was like, oh my gosh, like Chris is doing some amazing things in the special needs community and impacting the lives of individuals with cognitive and developmental disabilities and their families, essentially. So I didn't want to keep Chris a secret, and I wanted to make sure that we got this awesome information out to our audience today. So welcome, Chris. I'm so excited that you are here with us today. And can you just give us, our audience, a little background about you and Fitness4Focus, and really like why you started Fitness4Focus?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. It's a joy to be here. Always nice to be able to spread the word as to what we're doing at F4F. Fitness4Focus is a place for individuals with developmental delays to come and just improve, get better, and become stronger in their mind, stronger in their body. It's personal training for individuals with our largest population has autism. About 70% of our athletes have autism. 15% have a diagnosis of maybe other. And we also work with quite a few individuals with Down syndrome diagnosis as well. So, and Fitness4Focus was just started. I had a relationship with a guy named Tommy as I went to school with him and noticed that he needed a place to go and get better. Tommy, he has autism, and I started with him back in 2005 and noticed quickly that he needed a place just to become better. And that's kind of how that's the short story of how Fitness4Focus was started. I on a whim got a job going to school and helping people stay focused and get their schoolwork done, and took Tommy out to the playground and bounced the ball to him. And from there, it's kind of history, just started things out. And I remember I asked somebody early on, how do you start a business? Like, what do you do? And they were like, just start it. So I just kind of just started it. And here we are 13 years later, and looking forward to seeing what the next, bunch of years bring us.
That's awesome. So, I really got that visual of when you explained the story to me about Tommy. You passed him the ball, and then you saw this need and the impact that you could have in this community. So tell me a little bit more about what you do, and maybe just tell us about the impact that you have seen working with Tommy all these years.
Yeah, so I graduated college with exercise science and movement arts degree, just shy of being a phys ed teacher. And so when I graduated college, I always referred to my old college advisor, Doc D. She was a pretty honest lady, and she was like, "Listen, Chris, you are not the best with your schoolwork, but there's and that's short. I mean, she was really to the point. Your test scores aren't always the best, but she told me one thing, and that was, you have the ability to break down exercise and movement. And that's just kind of been one of my gifts, being able to break down exercise. And then when I saw Tommy, I was like, man, he has a ton of potential. Like, there's potential in all of us, no matter who you are, where you're from, what it is, there's potential. You just need somebody to bring that potential out. And I just felt, on the playground, I was like, I think that person is me. Like, I need to figure out how to make him better, how to make him stronger, everything about him stronger, how to improve his endurance, and just really how to help him out. And so that's kind of how I started. And I've just been able to open up some locations here in Central PA and have trainers and other people that are very interested in seeing this demographic succeed. And it's addicting when you get into the gym and start working with the athletes and seeing what they can do, and bringing out, some of our athletes might not be able to jump. We got to teach them to jump before we can do a bunch of other exercises. So really the training aspect is the most amazing part. And watching other trainers train athletes now, for me, is one of the other things that is wonderful. But that's the short end of what we do and how we improve people. We might take somebody that can't walk and work on strengthening their major muscle groups to try and get them to walk and be able to do that. So it's been very interesting and fun over the years, and we have a great time when we're in the gym.
It's so incredible. So like you just said something that really it kind of brought me back to a memory that I had with an organization that I have run with in the past called Achilles International. I haven't been running much lately, but I hope to get back soon. But, there was this pivotal moment. We were at a race in Tampa because we would travel all over. And I was with an individual who, now I'm going to forget, I don't know if it wasn't cystic fibrosis. It was some type of physical impairment, and she was in her wheelchair, and then she would get out of her wheelchair, and then she'd get back in a little bit, and she would, she had said, I want to cross the finish line on my feet. And I said, all right, well, we got you. Like it was a 5K, and I said, you're going to cross that finish line on your feet. And, we got to the last like quarter mile, and, you can hear the crowd, you can see the finish line there. And I said to her, I was like, all right, look, come on, like, this is it. Like, you are going to finish this race on your feet. And she got up and she just gave it her all. She gave it her all. And sure enough, she crossed that finish line on her feet. And in that moment, it was like, you could never pay for that moment, for me and for her. It was so magical. And for her, it was like this confidence of like, yeah, like I can actually do this. And that trickles out in so many other facets of her life. And for me, it was like, holy crap, like I really helped someone get better, right?
Yeah.
Or I actually helped someone see their dream come true. And so the impact on me personally was like phenomenal. So I think that's what you're doing, like day in and day out, is just like it is the physical stuff, but it's so much more emotional. It's the confidence that you're giving these athletes to say like, yeah, you can do this. It takes time. And for those of you who are, if you don't know Chris Nykic, look him up, because he's the first person with Down syndrome to create the Ironman, a triathlon, and his whole thing is 1% better. If you can get 1% better every single day, like look at the impact you can have. And Chris, you are having that impact. So tell me, just if you can give me some more detail about some of the results that you're seeing, maybe both from a physical and an emotional level.
Yeah. Well, real quick on what you just said, like everybody wants to finish on their feet, right? Like no matter what it is, if you're a marathon or if you're in a championship for something, everybody wants to finish and be successful. And individuals that we serve, our athletes, whether it's autism, Down syndrome, whatever the case may be, they all want to finish on their feet. They all want to show that they are able to do more. And I think what we've done over the years is we've said, oh, well, they might not be able to do this, that, and the other thing. They're capable. We need to figure out how to make them, or how to get them from point A to point B. But I mean, some of the results that we're seeing, fitness and eating healthy as best you can. It's tough for everybody, but it is the key to living a wonderful, productive life. I've watched it in Tommy. I've watched it in many of our athletes. I'm always going to go to Tommy. Tommy currently lives with us now. So I started with him in 2005, and he's been living with us for about 5 years now. And when he moved in, he was not in the best health, close to diabetes, some concerning stuff going on. And my wife and I and our 2 girls, we just decided to say, hey, we're gonna, when he moves in, everybody's gonna get on a good diet. We're gonna start working on nutrition. And we did that. And Tommy he's about 90 pounds down. And it's just changed his life, not snoring anymore at night, not wheezing walking up steps. He actually runs 5 miles a day, Monday through Friday. It's built into his kind of routine and schedule to get on the treadmill, get that done. And we've had to teach him it's been 16 years I've been working with him, but we've had to teach him over the years, that this stuff's important and it helps you live a better life. And luckily with nutrition, he eats pretty much everything. So, chicken and broccoli, steak and broccoli, we're always protein and vegetables, and, moving as much as we possibly can as a family. But other stories, we've got athletes, just stories of, hey, my son can get in the shower now because he is stronger and balanced, my daughter can, one of the recent ones, and it's minimal, minute to you and I, but my daughter just opened a door at a restaurant today. Those heavy doors in some of these restaurants. Mm-hmm. My daughter opened the door and held it for us. And as we were all walking through, we just kind of looked at each other like, hey, she's holding the door for us. It's little, but it's big to families. And that's what we need to improve. That's what Fitness4Focus is all about. We're about strength, coordination, confidence, independence. We're going to strengthen and we're going to help athletes become more coordinated. And as we see those two, we start to see them walk into the gym like, hey, I got this. I'm more confident. Ultimately, we're pursuing independence through fitness. We want them to be more independent. So when parents, when other family members are not able to take care of them, maybe later on in life, or they're not around, they're able to do more stuff for themselves. And fitness and nutrition are the key to doing that. It really is. You can try everything else in the world. Just becoming stronger and working on yourself is going to be the best thing that anybody can do. So, and that's what we're seeing. The results are awesome. So,
and the results have happened because you took a stand for focusing in on the potential of this demographic who is underserved, people overlook, right? Or they think about impossibility, where you see possibility. And I have to just acknowledge you for that, Chris. I think that is so amazing what you're doing and the impact that you're having on individuals and families, and then at the largest scale, communities, right? So to talk about communities, can you tell us about where you're going? Where's Fitness4Focus going?
Well, we currently have 3 locations here in central Pennsylvania, and they've all been open about 7 years or so. 13 years I've been doing this and bounced around, but Lancaster and Mechanicsburg have been open about 7-8 years now, and Hershey's been open 13 years. And then we have one down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Orange County, New York is coming on board here this fall. And then Austin, Texas is also going to be opening here. And then the goal is to franchise and be ready for franchising, hopefully January 1, but it might be a little bit later than that. And with the ultimate goal of really impacting this demographic over the next 5-10 years, and longer, hopefully. But there is a big surge right now across the country to really help this demographic and push them and improve their life. And it's seen even on the news. Special Olympics is trying to improve and teach more people about how to work with the demographic. And I'm excited to see where the next bunch of years go. We've got interest from people in Nashville and all over the place. I'm always getting calls about starting Fitness4Focus somewhere else. Hey, how do I start it? Even I told you a couple minutes ago, somebody from north of Philly was like, I'd love for my daughter to be in your program. Are you ever going to be out this way? Well, the goal is to reach as many places as we can and change as many lives as we can, because to me and to my staff and to the people that are on board at Fitness4Focus, that's what life is all about. It's about impacting and positively serving other people and helping them to live a better life, however we can do that. So
well, I would love to see you expand. I mean, there's so many families out there that could utilize your services. So kudos to you. Keep doing what you're doing. And for those families that are watching the replay, how can they get in touch with you, Chris?
Yeah, so you can go on our website, fitness4focus.com. And if you're interested in coming into one of our facilities, you can sign up for a free session and we'll get you in and let you check things out. You can also check out Instagram and Facebook and shoot us a message through there. We respond to all of those. So
that's great. Awesome. Is there any last comments, Chris, that you want to add before we wrap up today?
Well, I always do this typically when I'm talking with people. If you're out there and you're watching and you might not know how to interact around maybe somebody with autism or just a developmental delay, don't be afraid. Don't shy away. If you see somebody out in public and you're feeling like, hey, I want to go up and encourage them, hey, just go up and give them a knuckle or a high five, or maybe you're working with the demographic or are interested, jump in and see how you can help improve them. A high five, a knuckle goes a long way for anybody, but especially the athletes that we serve. So don't be afraid and just jump in and encourage others when you're around them.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can all be cheerleaders, can't we?
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Thanks, Chris, so much. Thank you so much for being with us here today. I'm Joanna Craney, again, of Empowered Financial Strategies, Special Needs Planner, and so grateful that we had Chris here today from Fitness4Focus. We will also be uploading this video after editing to our vlog page on Empowered Financial Strategies. So please make sure you watch these replays, because we have had some phenomenal interviews the past few months, all of which get added to our website. So thanks again, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. And I have to just make a plug for Philly. If you're a Philly Fanatics fan, go Phillies. Go Eagles. We have a lot of energy going right now in our Philadelphia sports team. So
live it up.
Live it up. All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.